Canada's finest, the Cheryl Hickey. Welcome to Jason Carter, Jason's Unleashed. I'm saying my name in the title all at the same time. It's a Monday. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Wonderful. So happy to be talking to you. I've watched you for years, all right?
You
Because,
have?
yeah, as someone who has been a connoisseur of entertainment news and celebrity my life before doing it as a living myself, you watch the greats. And there's
Oh,
people who are just really good, and you are one of those people. I mean, you are a television institution in Canada. You know that, right?
oh my goodness. Well, okay. Sure. Thank you. Listen, I really appreciate you saying that. I guess I don't particularly think about that all the time. I mean, I know I've been around for a long time and I've had a lot of different jobs in this industry, for sure, from being a camera woman to working on radio and doing all kinds of things. So, yes, I've walked in many shoes. I think that's a fair thing to say.
And it's emblematic of who you are and why you've been so successful because you started as people who are hungry in this business, right? As a cameraman behind the scenes, learning all the trades, trying to get in, and then you worked your way up to this incredible career. I mean, what? Oh, close to 20 years at ET Canada?
Yeah, yeah, we started in 2005 and originally they didn't want me. They told
Right.
me up front. They were like, "No, thanks." And I was like, "Oh,
Really?
okay." Yeah, but no, like well, you know, our industry is they're trying to put together a cast and they think they know what they want and all of that sort of thing. So it was really I remember during that time that I was like, "Okay, like I get it. It's a casting thing. Like I understand." And so you sort of have to go, okay, well, what's next for me? What am I going to do after that? And
Right.
so I did the logical thing, which is I went to Australia for 3 weeks to see a boy. But
the,
yeah,
the natural logical thing. I'm gonna go see what, but I mean, fast forward to September 2023. Of course, the news that the show was going to be going away had its swan song. We're gonna talk about your
yeah,
latest announcement because we're really excited about that. But identity, when it comes to what we do in this business, is so powerful because yeah, sure, we're people. I mean, you're a mother of two, one young adult and one tween, and you are all these things, but when it comes to what we do professionally, people don't realize that it's a rigorous workout, not only on skill set, but on your mental, who you are emotionally, because people have come to know you as something. You are a brand. Cheryl Hickey is a brand.
Good evening, everyone. Tonight's show is going to start off very different. After 18 spectacular seasons, Entertainment Tonight Canada is coming to an end. The show is going off the air. Chorus, our parent company, has decided, due to the challenging advertising environment, the show will not continue.
And we know many of you heard on social media yesterday, but we wanted to tell you ourselves. And mostly we want to thank our viewers. Thank you for inviting us into your homes. It has been a privilege, an honor to bring you some joy, light, laughter, and entertainment news. You are like family to us. Our crew, both in front of and behind the scenes, are truly sad to say goodbye.
Yeah.
And when the news came out that ET Canada was a swan song, initially, how did you feel? Did you feel like your identity was being torn apart in a sense?
no.
Okay.
And there's a reason that it didn't. When I came to Toronto in 1999, there was another a Canadian broadcaster. Her name is Marilyn Dennis. Her name is Marilyn Dennis. And we were at an event together, and she said, Cheryl, or she didn't even say Cheryl. She said, "Hey, kiddo, I'm going to tell you something. Um, don't get yourself wrapped up too much in who people think you are, who the job is. You need to have a life and an identity outside of that." And I always kind of kept that in the back of my head because I always was like, well, this is a job. This isn't me. I'm putting parts of me into the job, but it's not me. And very much of who I am is um is my family and is my friends and all of that. The show was an extension. I got to play, I got to travel, I got to talk to incredible people, experience the world on the back of the show, but it wasn't all of me. It's like social media isn't all of you. It's snippets, it's pieces of you. Now my son did say when the show ended, "Mom, if you're not Cheryl Hickey from ET Canada, who are you?" And I was like, boom.
Right.
And I remember stopping and thinking, I need to be very mindful in how I answer this question, because this is a pivotal time in my kid's life, in my life. Mom's job has changed. I don't want them to see change as trauma and damage, and change can be a good thing, even when you don't choose it.
Yeah.
So I said to him, well, he said, who are you going to be if it's not Cheryl Hickey from ETK? I said, I don't know, but we're about to find out, and we're going on a journey. And that's not to say too, he didn't see me sometimes being sad or having my feelings about things, because I didn't hide that. But I also didn't want him to see fear, because, this is life. Life is this. And for me personally, in 2023, life took me on the ultimate ride. And I had to keep bringing myself back to present and being like, this is a moment in time. So be here and be present.
How do you do that, Cheryl? I mean, because you
Therapy.
well, hey, listen, I'm right there with you, boo. Me and my therapists are like this. But
Yeah.
I think first of all, thank you for sharing, because I think that resonates with a lot of people who are transitioning in a myriad of different ways in their lives. Because as that mentor told you back in 1999, which was a great year, that you don't pour so much of yourself into this thing that is very volatile, that is just a small fraction of who you are. And I think that also you having that knowledge has been a feather in your hat, and a reason why people gravitate towards you on television. They like you and they see that authenticity, because you're just like, I am here. I remember watching you one time. You had the biggest hair. It was really wavy,
Probably.
really curly. And I was like, what a ray of sunshine. I think you were delivering like a J-Lo story or something, but it was just an energy that I hadn't seen for a while on television. And here in the States, obviously, there's like just so many outlets that you can get entertainment news from, that it kind of just blends and bleeds together. But for you, watching you was like, Warren Shet's a really great name, Cheryl Hickey. Wow, great television name.
Well, thanks. It wasn't in high school and in junior high, I'll tell you. But
you know what? Because those people who didn't think it was cool then, they peaked back then. Okay, they peaked. You did not peak.
Thank you.
But yeah, I mean, and you mentioned being present and moving through that transition in your life from not only the death of your father, but the death of a piece of your career that you have built, that you have poured into, that you have given to from bottomless wells of emotion and energy.
Yeah.
What was the apparatus you used? What was the method, the modality you used to be present? Because people struggle with that, myself included.
And I still do. I'm like, for me to be like, oh, it's super easy. Let's also be really clear. It is not. It takes practice. So I'll say that back in 2019, COVID, right? Everything started to happen. My dad's illness, which is a rare brain disease called progressive supranuclear palsy, which then later causes like a dementia. It's like ALS and dementia meet. And anyway, I remember there was like this time I was sitting in my room. I can see it clearly. I was sitting there and I was like, okay, we're in a pandemic. My dad's health is failing quickly. I've got these children who are tiny, and they're not too tiny, but like they're very aware of what's going on, especially emotionally. They can see and they can pick it all up. And I thought, okay, I really have to get my act together. And that didn't mean physically. That meant mentally. I needed to be really strong. I needed to figure out what kind of things I needed to do around it. What did I need to learn about mindfulness? What practices was I going to start putting in place for not just me, but for my family, slowly but surely? And so honestly, I started taking courses on Mind Valley. I don't know if you know that app, but it's Vishen Lakhani, some of the great mindfulness leaders out there who are teaching really wonderful things. So I started taking courses when the kids were asleep, or I'd wake up at 5 a.m. and take an hour course, learning, reading, doing all the things, and practicing it daily. So as my dad's health was failing, I was having grabbing tools that I learned and was like, okay, no, I'm going to use this here, or I'm going to use this here. Plus my therapist. I talked to my therapist, had her on speed dial, but not just for me, but also for my family. So noticing, oh, the kids are struggling. This is above me. I don't know what to do here. Call it in. So it's calling in when you need to and learning as much as we can. So by the time my father passed, which was January 2023, I wasn't ready for it. You're never ready. But I knew that I had tools, right? I knew I'd let myself fall down and crumble because I did. But I also knew how to get back up and then be present for my kids because they're grieving too. Right. But then also get back on the show and put that energy out there that I needed to. And then a few months later, the show collapsed. And I was like, 2023, you are giving all things.
All the things.
And again, putting into practice some of the things that I had learned about being present, visualization, imagination. And that came in real handy when the show ended and I was like, well, who am I going to be?
Yeah.
So I went back and started daydreaming and imagining and visualizing what I wanted from myself, not just what I wanted tangibly, but how I wanted to feel about it.
Right.
You have to imagine it, feel it, and then take inspired action. Right. So it's 1, 2, 3, but it's an everyday thing.
Consistency is key.
It is. It's everything.
Wow.
And surrounding yourself with the right people too. I mean, I could have gotten in the circle of the world is terrible. On paper, my life was falling apart. Like it really was, Jason, like everything. You lose your father, your job is gone, your friends are struggling, and other things were going on too. But I chose to reconstruct my reality and sort of find the things I was grateful for. And some days it was just a hot cup of coffee.
I feel that. Or, hey, Cheryl, preach. So one, thank you for sharing. Two, I couldn't agree with you more about finding the small things to be grateful for, because especially when you said so many wonderful things, but especially when we are so go, busy, we miss out on so many things that when you have the time to stop and just like what you so beautifully articulated, be present and really be present. And I still struggle with that, but I'm noticing now with more time, those things that you weren't paying attention to, the how bigger they are, and they allow you to find that joy. If I had met you at CN Tower on the Lookout, and I asked you, Cheryl, give me your elevator pitch of who you are as a woman now, what would you say?
Oh, who am I as a woman? Well, I mean, wow, that is really good. I think I come back to evolving, growing, passionate. I am a strong mother. I love my kids. My family's my absolute everything. I'm still very curious about life and don't pretend to think that I know everything, because I don't, but I ask a lot of questions. So I'm still hungry to gather all of that. I love our medium. I love television. I love radio. I love podcasting. I love all the things, creating shows. I think I'm just a lover of life. I really, in 2023, not that I didn't think life was precious, because I know that it is, but I realize this is a gift and it's an opportunity, and we're all here for a reason. And so if we sit and take time with each other and learn each other's reasons, we can elevate each other and we make things better. We actually can, even in the darkest of times.